Hello everyone, today I'll be showing you how I created a UFO abduction shot using practical effects and a little bit of Photoshop. To begin, let's have a look at what I used to pull it off.
For starters, we need a drone. In my case, a Phantom 4 Pro, chosen because its larger size can cope with the heavy weight of the dimmable flashlight we'll be using. The flashlight I chose to light the scene is a Nightcore MT22C. Its rotary dimming dial allows me to properly match the flashlight's output to the ambient exposure of the stars. Attaching the light to the drone is a fairly low-tech affair. A bit of electrical tape, make sure it's solid, and you're good to go. Now, to create some spooky, foggy, alien-y atmosphere, I'm using this repurposed mosquito fogger full of mineral oil. This stuff makes huge clouds and is perfect for creating a little bit of a creepy mood. And finally, since I generally don't travel with an assistant, we use a Yongnuo RF603C wireless trigger so I can fire off the shutter while I'm making smoke and flying the drone. Once the gear's all sorted out, it's time to hit the road and find the perfect place for an abduction.
So we've made it to our location for the evening, a 118-year-old sea fort on the coast of Texas. Its creepy, abandoned creepiness makes it perfect to pull off a UFO abduction shot. So as soon as that sun goes down, we're going to tape some lights to the drone and get cracking. Good?
First things first, we've got to get our exposure. I like to keep it short, around 6 seconds, because Julie has to stay still the entire time. In order to make sure that my flashlight doesn't blow out and matches the background perfectly, I shine it on the foreground to take a test exposure. Once I've got that sorted out, we're ready to shoot. Next up, we crank up the propane-powered fogger. Since it's powered by gas, we have to give it a few minutes to heat up to start producing smoke. Once it's ready to go, we set it off to the side and attach the lights to the drone. Once I've got it properly aimed at Julie, the drone does a great job staying in place all on its own. As long as you have a good GPS lock, it won't go anywhere. Finally, we can begin shooting. You'll notice in these frames that I'm actually next to Julie. Normally, I'm well behind the camera, letting the smoke waft through the scene and over her. However, on this day, it was extra windy down on the coast, and there was nowhere else for me to go. So in this shot, we're going to be photoshopping me out and leaving the fog. Finally, after shooting about 20 frames, we ended up with a nice foggy picture that I like very much. It took us several tries because it was very windy, and the fog didn't quite waft over her as gently as I would like. In some of my earlier attempts on windless evenings, it was much easier, and the fog made these massive clouds. Since we were by the coast, it was mega windy, and we ended up with something nice though. I think, in the end, this still looks pretty spooky and a little bit extraterrestrial. Ideally, we would have had a tall column of the smoke here, and that would kind of accentuate the beam coming from the flashlight, but we can always make up for that in Photoshop. So, this is what I like the most, and then this is the final edit. Now, obviously, it's been massaged a little bit. We still have that initial cloud here, but I used the clouds filter to kind of fill that out, and I used a few curves layers to make a nice little beam of light radiating from where the drone was. Also, at the end of the evening, I went down into the bunker, and I shone my flashlight on the back wall. And that made a nice little bit of light radiating out and kind of added to the spookiness. If you'd like, I'm going to make a second part of this video in a week or so, and I'll detail exactly how I edited every aspect of this. If you'd like to see that, let me know in the comments. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. And if you did, please subscribe.